Hey folks, it is Labor Day in the United States when I'm filming this, and I know you won't see it for a few days, but I mention that because I've had a pretty full weekend of trail running and tennis and all kinds of activities, so my body's a little bit tired, but I still want to do some movement. And I hope you'll see that even when we're tired, it's beneficial to do some movement to get your body flowing. It'll re-energize you a little bit, but we can challenge ourselves to slow down a little bit and to move in a more gentle fashion when we need a little bit of recovery versus some days we want to work really hard. But today we're going to have some gentle movement. So hope you'll enjoy this, and I hope you'll use this one and come back to it on those days where you just want to move a little bit and refresh your body, but you don't need that big burn out the core kind of challenge. All right, so let's just start with a nice lovely side bend. Reach up and over. Let's go to the other side. I'm going to do that 2 more times each way because it feels good. Sometimes you don't realize you're tight until you start moving. I did a Pilates class with a lot of obliques the other day, and I can still feel my obliques. So it feels good to stretch them out. Last time like that. We are going to use a little ball, and if you don't have a ball, you can probably do this with, there's only one thing that you would need the ball for. The rest is optional, but we'll give you some options on that one exercise. So I'm coming all the way down onto my back, and I'm going to start with a small little tuck of the pelvis, just that little roll, and I'll roll back the opposite direction. So I create a bigger arch, and then I flatten my back and I curl. So I'm going both directions. Not going all the way up in a bridge, just going back and forth with my pelvis, just loosening it up. If you have any tension in your spine or your low back, this can feel really good. Let's do that a few more times. All right, and then I'll go a little higher with that bridge, articulate a little higher. Now I have some thoracic spine issues, so I don't go as high. Now you could shoot for going a little higher than I go, knees, hips, shoulders, drawing a diagonal line, which I realize mine are not, but that's for an unhappy disc in my thoracic spine that maybe someday I'll get that back. But right now we're keeping that movement a little bit smaller. So I tell you that because you modify Pilates to work for you, not the other way around. All right, don't force yourself to do a full movement if you know the partials where your body's going to feel good, because this feels good to me. If I go a little higher, I land on that offending vertebrae, and it just doesn't feel good. Let's bring it up this time. Let's stay up. And I'm going to rotate one hip up, then the other. A little rotation of the pelvis. Just a twist side to side. And you don't have to be up super high to do this. It can be a partial or a full. Play around and see what feels good for you. Let's go 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. On 1, and then articulate all the way down. We're going to do a take on our single leg extension, and you can do this with your head down or up. I'm going to lift my head, and I'm going to do just one leg first, and you'll see why here in a second. I'm going to pull that leg in, rotate it across, and then take it back out. Pull that leg in, rotate it across, and I'm using my hand for a little bit of support there. Rotate and reach. Now this could be done with your head down, still getting some good core work, but a little easier with one leg on the floor and with one hand on the mat. Let's do a couple more of those. Rotate, that's stretching out that IT band, working deep into my abs. And last one, rotate. And let's put that leg down. We'll put our head down for a second, and we'll switch legs. So I'm coming up, and I'm rotating away from you, and take that leg out. Again, head could be down on this. I'm careful not to tug on my knee. So just want to rotate over, and maybe one side has more rotation than the other. These are the things we find out in Pilates, where our body functions better on one side than the other. And here's 2 and 1. All right, put that leg down. So I do feel some core work there. We're not without doing any work today, but I got a nice stretch. So we're going to do the opposite motion. I'm going to keep my head down and I'm going to go out to the side and then take that leg out. I have my hand on my left hip bone because I don't really want my pelvis to roll on this version. We did a little rolling on the opposite version. But this one, I'm keeping my pelvis down, opening up a little bit inner thighs. Nice little stretch there, and I think these feel pretty good. So even though it's stretchy, I'm getting some work in. Not totally taxing my body, but I'm still feeling some work. Let's do 2 more of those. We'll switch sides. 2. And 1, and maybe hug that knee in and draw some little circles with that knee. Just massage that hip in the hip socket and reverse those circles. All right, extend that leg. Let's switch legs. So we'll come up, rotate out. And again, you could have C curve on this if you wanted to have that head up. You certainly could. I'm just choosing to have it down. Rotate out. So I'm making sure that my pelvis doesn't roll. All right, that's not the point of this exercise. If I roll over, I miss some of that good inner thigh stretch. And I stretch my low back, which we just did that. So we want to have a different focus on this exercise. Let's do 2 more of those. Last one, and then I'll do those little circles, hugging that knee in. And go the other direction, just a little massage there. All right, let's rock ourselves up. And we'll grab that ball. And then this is one where if you don't have a ball, you don't have to have a ball. You can do this exercise perfectly fine without it. It's just kind of nice to have it. And you can get a ball at the dollar store. You don't have to get a fancy ball. It doesn't have to be a Pilates ball. Rounding forward. If your kids have a ball, you can borrow that. Rounding back up. So it just encourages me to reach a little bit further. I'm scooping in my abs, so I round through my spine and roll back up. I can kind of check how far I'm going with the ball as well. Can see where am I in relation to the edge of the mat, and am I not? And it doesn't have to be a goal to get that, to get super far, but just seeing if you're deepening your stretch. Let's do that one more time, that spine stretch forward, rounding forward and stretch, and then rounding back up. Put the ball aside, you'll see it again later. Feet are wide, about to the edges of the mat, and we're gonna do our saw. So let's just start with a little twist first. Twist, pulse, pulse. Go to the other side. Twist, pulse, pulse. Twist, pulse, pulse. Normally we do this exercise with our legs together, but because we're gonna take it into saw, we're gonna eliminate that step, and we'll just start here. Wringing it out. I don't know about you, but twisting exercises feel really good in my body. It just kind of wrings everything out, puts things back where they belong. Let's rotate this time. Reach back as much as you reach forward. So this arm and this arm are both working. Come back up, rotate, reach across. Trying to get my pinky to pinky. Pinky finger to pinky toe. And if you can't reach, that's okay. You reach in that direction. And think about somebody pulling that hand behind you backwards as you do this exercise. This is one of Joseph Pilates' original mat exercises, and it's a good one. How about one more time each direction? And then reach. All right, let's do a little bit of extension. I always like to counteract some flexion with extension. So coming onto your stomach, I'll move that ball so you can see. Cross my hands one over top of the other. Turn your feet out wide. And let's lift just the head and shoulders. Lift and hold. See if you can lift those legs too. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back down. I'm going to add on to that to really try and open up my upper front body. So I'm going to lift, reach those arms back, reach those legs back. Come back down. Lift, reach. There's work in the back of my body, that opening up. Feels really good. Let's do 3 more of those. Come on down, plant your hands, take a quick little child's pose. All right, we'll do one more variation here. Hands about where your shoulders are. You can kind of play with what feels good for you. Pressing up, taking my tummy away from the mat. And I'm checking that my shoulders don't end up coming up. All right, so it'd be easy to kind of shrug my shoulders up, but I want to have those shoulders down as I do this. Last one, look down, look up, look over to the left, look over to the right, and relax back down. Maybe push back. One more child's pose. All right, let's come on to all fours. And we're going to continue with some back movement here. So traditional cat-cow, round your spine up, lift your belly button, work into that core, and then drop open your chest. So it's that extension and flexion we've just been doing, but in a little different format. So we'll do a few more like that. And I'm going to share with you an exercise called, well, I was told it was called Sexy Kitten. So this is cat-cow. So Sexy Kitten is a variation on that. That was taught to me by Kara Reeser, who learned it from Kathy Grant, who studied under Joseph Pilates. So this is about as close as we can get to actual Joseph Pilates connections, is following people that have followed people that worked with Joseph Pilates. So for our Sexy Kitten, it's kind of similar, but we're gonna lift our hips up to one side, round back down. So we're still doing our cat-cow, and then at the same time, we're doing a circle with our hips from side to side, or maybe it's more of an oval, but it just releases all kinds of things and forces me to pull my navel up and down, and round. Let's reverse that. Feels really good. Lots of good stuff happening there. All right, let's take this into a little balance, just a little core work. Reach out and hold. And bring that hand and leg down. Let's try the other side. Reach and hold. And bring it back down. I'm going to grab that ball. Again, you don't have to have a ball, but if you have it, this is kind of fun. We're going to come up. We're going to reach out and in, out and in. Hold, and you could lift it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's take that ball to the other side. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So leg comes up, roll and tuck, roll and tuck. If you had a water bottle or something like that, you could use that, something that would roll, or just mimic the movement without the ball. 3, 2, 1. Lift up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Let's take a quick little rest there. All right, one area that I tend to get tight is in my hip flexors. So we're going to do a little hip flexor stretch, a little thigh stretch. So just holding that ball and hinging back just to what feels right for me, coming back up. So I want to keep this a relative straight line, keep my core engaged, hinge back. Let's add a little rotation onto that. Hinge back, rotate to one side, come back up. Hinge back, rotate to the other side. I let my gaze follow that ball. Totally don't need a ball. You could just do this with your arms. It's just nice to have a little bit of a visual to work with. Let's add on to that. Let's hinge, rotate around to the other side, come back in. Hinge, rotate around to the other side, come back in. Just a couple more of those. Rotate around to the other side and come back in. Rotate around to the other side and come back in. One more each way. Rotate around to the other side and come back in. Last time. Just getting some shoulder rotation in there, which feels nice. All right, so we are going to put the ball aside. You'll see it one more time. And let's go ahead and do just a little bit of laying on our side. Just a little bit of glutes here. I'm propped up, but I could be laying down. And I'm going to keep my lower knee down, and it's just an open and close. All right, nothing crazy, but a little bit of glute activation and a little bit of core activation. I guess it's feeling good to move, so I'm going to keep moving. All right, let's come to the other side. So just a little bit of glutes, nothing. No big long glute series. We got other days for that. And then just keeping that bottom leg down, that provides a little bit of support and stability. I could always have that leg lifted, but for my purposes today, down is good. All right, and then let's grab the ball. I've saved the best part for last. We're going to take the ball and we're going to roll down. Ball's going to go about where my bra strap would be on the back side of my sternum, and I'm going to lay over top of the ball and just decompress for a few breaths. Just really opening up my back, stretching out my shoulders, and letting everything resituate and resettle in my body. If you do not have a ball, you could try a lumbar support pillow, something that you could round over. If you have a foam roller, that could work, or a half foam roller. Something that's going to be supportive and not painful. I wouldn't do any hard objects. I think a yoga block might be a little bit too hard. So maybe roll up a big old beach towel and use that to extend over. That could be an option for you. And then we'll round all the way up, reach for the toes. Let's round back down, hopefully find that ball again. We're using it for some assisted roll ups and roll down. So I'm not going all the way down because there's a ball there, but that's feeling nice and supportive. And if you struggle with going all the way down, this might be a way to practice as well, because I'm not having to challenge myself quite as much, but I'm still getting some core work in there. Just have to hope the ball doesn't roll away from you. You can take your arms back to the point that you want. You could go on this next one, I'll show you. You could go all the way back with the arms each time, chin to chest, all the way back up. Let's just do a couple more of those. I'm stopping here, because that feels good for me. And one more good one. Sometimes I get a little bit of a head rush if I come up too quickly, so I like to stop a little bit shorter. Reach for the toes. All right, ball goes aside, and we'll finish with a mermaid. So sitting with your legs mermaid style. If that doesn't work, just sit with your legs crisscross. Actually, I'm going to throw one more thing in. We'll do a mermaid. We're also going to do a glute stretch, because that's a nice one as well. So we'll do both of those. All right, and then this direction. Now, take this leg and bring it over the other one. So this leg could come out like this, all right? And then we're gonna grab that thigh and we're gonna twist looking this direction. So we'll rotate around. I feel it here, and I sit up nice and tall. Use this hand for support if you need it. And a nice twist and stretch. This is a good one. And then let's go mermaid style the other way, and we'll do that glute stretch afterwards. Reach up and over. Reach. Reach up and over. Reach. One more time each way. All right, so we'll go the opposite direction. Cross that leg over, and I twist. Oh, this is the way I went. Whoops. We'll go the opposite direction. Well, sometimes we forget. Still felt good to get a little bonus stretch that direction. Twist. So you don't have to be perfect in your workouts. I'm definitely never perfect in my workouts, but I just feel good to move, and I think you move through and you learn as you go. So there you go. There's a little bit more of a gentle restorative Pilates class that you can use on those days when you're not feeling like you want a really hard workout, but you also don't want to take the day off because you know you'll feel better if you move. So that is what this class is designed for. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.